You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa, what up, everybody? It's your boy Al Mega, para que tú sepas, Borico Supremo, Isabela. What's poppin'? Huh? Happy here, y'all. I'm going to be doing, guys and gals. Y'all going to have about 23 different interviews in the course of the next 3 weeks that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be fun talking to a plethora of amazing creators, especially those across the indie field. And, of course, today we have an awesome guest. He's a publisher. He's a creator, writer. He's doing his thing right now. It's a great label called Kiss Me Comix. And I'm very happy and proud to introduce the one and only Stats Jenkins. What's up, kiddo?
Oh, hey. Thanks a lot for having us out. It's a pleasure. It is a total blast. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on and taking some time to introduce us to the world of Kiss Me Comix, Stats. But even before we do that, all right, we need to know, Stats, where you from? Where you hail from? What's your background?
Oh, I hail from Chicago, Illinois. Born and bred here. Born and raised.
New York pizza's still better.
Yes.
Anyway.
Oh, don't start that. Don't start that. No.
Only playing, brother. So born and raised over there. I mean, what was your fandom like over there as you were growing up? Was fandom accessible? How did you get into it?
Well, that's the funny thing about it. The fandom was, I would have to say, weird at that time. It wasn't a big thing like it is now, but I was looking at the local store to the local pharmacy shop, and at that time seeing the big huge vending machines for 35 cents.
Vending machines.
So I started. Yeah, back in the day,
comic book vending machines.
The little. Yes. Back late 70s.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're blowing my mind. That's something new. I've never heard of that. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, if you ain't noticed the greatness here, I can go way back. But yeah, back in the day, there were comic book vending machines, and for about 35 cents, you could pop your money in and you could get a comic book, because back then they were cheap. Yes. And that's where I first got, that's where I got my my first taste of comic books.
So what was it that made you float over to that vending machine?
Well, well, first of all, seeing how actually at first it was Journey into Mystery. What? From the old Journey into from Marvel. Okay. And then from there, the other titles that got me interested at that time, Thor. Then the DC stuff was I forget what mystery title they had running at that time, but that's what I got into that, and just started getting in, just started reading. It was that was a cherished time in my life.
Did you have a community of friends that were collectors as well or readers at the time, or were you the ugly duckling of and no one else was down? That's how I felt. I mean, I didn't meet fellow comic book friends until I was about 12 years old, but I was reading since about 7, 8. So I was alone for a while.
Yeah, same here. I didn't know that any of my friends collected comics until that same point in time, and I figured out there were other people that were, but you also had to at the time anybody who read comic books was associated with the stigma.
Yeah, so, as a nerd, and you get bullied. Haha, look at this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
You
And
know,
yeah,
so
we were readers in
so
shame. They shamed us, man. Isn't that
yes,
horrible?
yeah, they did. Yeah. You know, there's no other way to say that. You know, but it shows you how times and culture has changed. Now
Hmm.
is a totally different totally different deal, which is a
We're the
good
cool
thing.
kids on the block.
Yeah.
Finally, I mean, now that I
Yes,
have grades and stuff,
finally.
darn it.
Yeah, you know, but I also look at it like this: we are the ones who these newer ones the history of comic seasons.
Yes.
You know, because all they know is what the on the movie screens and what the major publishers have adapted to. You
Yes.
know, back in for us were about the story and the art, not a marketing
Yes.
tool.
Yes. 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 Agreed. Agreed. I mean, until the toys came out with Secret Wars and then the Super Friends stuff,
Right.
and then they started doing the cross marketing, seeing the connections, and all of a sudden now comics were no longer,
Yes.
even though celebrated, they're like, okay, this is where we'll get the stuff from, but we don't need to respect those stories. We're gonna do our own thing with it. This is why people get so mad at
Exactly.
movies. Like we were talking
Yes.
yesterday at one of my programs about, if they were to do a Doc Savage, it would be great to do it based in the Doc Savage time, the 30s. Wouldn't that be an awesome movie? Base it
Right.
then, no
It
technology,
would be.
and be real with the times as well.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. You know, I with the current genre of Avengers, wrong, but you know, it's and if you just even just looking at the X-Men, you already have something that is cool.
Yes,
It don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
yes,
You know, and I'll let it go at that.
I agree with that. So tell us when the journey began. That here you go from a collector to saying, okay, I want to do something in this. What was that moment?
Oh wow. Well, that was practically almost 30 years ago. At that time, I grew up still collecting, and I met my wife, and
Okay.
she's a talented artist. She's the creator of Serenade, and
Hey.
at that time it was just the two of us, and we were seen back. We had our own business at that time called R&BJ Calligraphy. That is the predecessor to Kiss Me Comix.
Okay.
She and we made a custom greeting cards, posters, and stuff like that. You
Oh,
know, because I
cool.
did calligraphy, she did the art. Yeah. So, and at that time, she was a collector. She is a collector too, and so we would not only
Wow.
so we would go to we
You
would go
found
to the
the
shop
dream.
all the time.
You found the dream, because I
Did
remember
not? Yes, I did.
me and the homies back in
Yeah.
the day would say, "Man, we wish we could find a girl that was into comics." Because we go to a comic shop. It was a sausage fest. How times have changed, like you said.
Right.
But you found one of those red
Yeah,
ones
it
in
has.
the needle in the haystack for the time.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Wow.
Spider-Man, all that.
Yeah, Spider Man and everything. And once we got married, it got drifted into the X-Files and stuff like that. You know,
Cool.
so so while we're doing all this, we really started noticing that there are comics out there that represented people of color.
Mm-hmm.
And and for us that was an issue. So while in this kind of Academy of Art, so
Okay.
one of her projects was to come up with a comic book. So she did. Obviously she got an A off of it, and I was always wanted to have my own anyway, because at the time growing up with my partners and everything, there was this a game called Champions. You created your own comic book character,
Oh
and
yes,
you
yes,
would have
yes.
them go battle other people's characters. So I'm like, I thought, okay, this would be cool to have one. So I had one, just made up just for the hell of it. And started going about this. We started thinking, hey, we could actually do something with this. And it wasn't until we came back from a trip from Niagara, we kept on saying, let's do something about it. Let's do something about it. And we actually started at that time piecing stuff together to make that happen. Then a little later, after our kids were born, we went to Niagara Falls, and we were steady working and everything to get everything released. And we came back, and my wife said, wouldn't it be nice to find a comic book convention in Canada?
Ooh.
You know, and I'm like, well, you know what? Let's look. And we found the National Comic Book Convention, the comic book convention up in Canada. And we had 6 weeks. Okay. And the more we looked at it, the more I kept on saying, this is doable. This is doable. This is doable. Excellent. We had weeks. We busted our asses off to get a book ready through this one. Yeah, this one. We busted our asses to get Serenade, and this is, we had 6 weeks to get Serenade off the ground.
Wow.
And we busted our asses to get this book published. 6 weeks.
You guys were going on Kirby
we
speed.
Didn't know.
That's on that Jack Kirby speed, idea. Brother. Jeez.
I mean, we didn't know nothing about nothing. We just, well, my wife, believe it or not, and I dare anybody to break this record. At one point, my wife did 3 books in a month.
Whoa, nice. She's the
Kanye
of comics then, because remember when Kanye dropped 7 albums in 1 year that he produced? Give him credit. Give him credit.
Yeah. Right. And the sad part about it is she blew out her shoulder. It took her a whole year to get over that. But 3 books in a month. But you know, but convention, it was you know, we did it. It was stay for the national up there in Canada, got it done. And it's amazing. We didn't know nothing about the business or anything. Didn't even have a printer until we started making Serenade.
Wow.
And we went up there with this little box that got chewed up by airport security. And it's funny. It was so funny because here we are with this little dolly and this beat up box. We go in there, and I'm looking at people with semis, U-Hauls, and everything. And I wasn't even thinking about I wasn't even scared until that moment. And that's when I had the deer in headlights moment.
And I'm looking, oh my God, what did I get into?
Yes. Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah.
20 copies.
Yeah. We went. It was in Toronto. We had only 20 copies, and and I'm looking like
you went to a convention wait, you're blowing my mind.
Yes.
So you were truly New Jacks. You went with only 20 copies.
Yes.
Oh man.
We only went up. Yeah, we only went up 20 copies. And I tell you what happened. God blessed us because we got our first store, Silver Snail, in Toronto. Sold the majority of our books. We sold 16 to the stores and people. We only came with 4 copies, and those got sold.
Awesome. I know you felt good right after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We were on cloud 9, and then
go ahead.
And the funny thing about it is while we were at the convention, and at that time, the original copies of Serenade were magazine sized.
Oh, nice! I love that size, bro.
Magazine.
I love that.
Yeah, they were magazine sized, and we were in Artist Alley, and 2 of the older creators from Jack Kirby's era were looking at us doing what we do, and they were looking at Serenade, and they were talking, but they were talking just loud enough for us to hear, and they were looking dead at us, and they were talking about Serenade and said, they liked the work, and they both said one talk the other, if they hold on and keep doing what they're doing, they're going to go far.
Beautiful.
And that for us was one of our stamps of approval. So for us to be literally
you felt
trial
validated.
by fire, babes in the water.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We felt validated.
Beautiful,
and
kiddo.
and that's one of the things. Thank you. And that's one of the things that keeps us in this game, no matter what.
So you guys are still together and still kicking butt. So you guys are still in the game, huh? I hear her in the background coaching you. So shout out to Miss Jenkins there.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, and to this day, our zero issues, we can't keep them. We always end up selling out. So
a shout out to Stu. He's listening and being impressed by your journey here. Excellent.
Oh yes, thanks.
So let's talk about these titles. I mean, you're saying Serenade and all. We have that tease up. I mean, let's start showing people what we're talking about here.
Okay.
I mean, look at this.
Okay. Now, what you got there is Bountyhunter. That is our other title. At the time when we were doing all this, we were both working on both Serenade and Bountyhunter at the same time.
Okay. And so this is you and your lady, or just you? Who's doing all the work here? Hey, and I lost Rod for a moment, folks, but that's okay, because what I'm looking at is the cover of the Bountyhunters issue number 7. Has inks and finishes by Daryl Goza, story and art. Seems that he went in. Want to see how much input the lady had in it, So, Stu, so the comic you could actually get here. Let me put this on screen because I know people are curious. Where can we get this? Again, this is an original POC universe. You got POC characters. We'll find out whether it's a POC universe. But if you're looking for books from Kiss Me Comix, all you have to do is go to blog.kissmecomics.com/shop. You see all the awesome titles that they got going. I mean, they have an amazing journey here. Here's a husband and wife team, getting in there, trying to do what they can to come into the industry, going, if you will, to a convention, just them and kicking butt. Are you here, Stats?
Can you hear me? I'm trying to get to you.
Yes, I can. I could hear you.
Okay, at least you can hear me.
Well, yeah, listen, we want to leave it like that. Let's leave it like that so that way we don't kill bandwidth. So let's go forth with what Bountyhunter is. So because the cover looks amazing. Okay. So is this all you, or has your lady put her hands on it? I had people asking already. Okay. I told them where to go.
Okay. Well, Well, the best way I can tell you like this: in the early days of Bountyhunter, it was my wife for the first 3 issues. Okay. It was her. The 0 issue, 0 through 1, was her. Then after, then unfortunately for one person working on 2 books is just too much.
It is. So
then I took over doing the art and everything else for the middle issues.
Gotcha.
Then, then along the way, meeting people on online and everything. Next thing I know, I met through the internet Mr. Daryl Goza, and from there he took a shine to us, and he said, "You guys." I asked him, what do we need to do in order to get ready for the next level? And nice. He helped us, and he, gave us the information we needed to get everything done. And so he said, definitely the art for Bountyhunter needs to be upgraded. I'm like, well, yeah, it does. Seeing how I just came from stick figures, to draw, literally.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
really nice.
So
you're self-taught, Stats?
No, my wife helped me. My wife helped me with stuff.
She's your mentor
and, yeah,
as well.
but
Look at this. Wepa, what a package.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, she is. She is. You know, yeah,
Love it.
she
Love
would
it.
help me. But I grabbed the books. The one of the first books is How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Read
The
that
classic.
through. Right, the classic. But then I wanted more realistic art. So then from there, what I wanted to go through was so then I got Bern Hogarth's dynamic figure drawing. And that for me helped out a lot. You know, so the most recent one you got there is Bountyhunter 7. Daryl Goza helped. He took my thumbnails and put the art in. He also did the inks.
Okay.
You know, now for the cover art, that's all him. But the interior colors is mainly me. My son Richard actually gets colored a couple of pages as well.
Your son. Oh, this is a family affair, brother. I love it.
Yes.
And look, and Stu is like, he believes all our styles are unique, man. So which is true, of course.
Yeah, they are.
You could tell.
Oh yeah, actually, in our line, our kids actually did comic books. They actually had their own. They were itty bitties at the time, you know. But yeah, they had their own. They had their own titles.
God bless, brother, because you make it a family affair and teach kids to do that. Because you're empowering them to be business owners by teaching them this. You know, to be creators and not be slaves to a job, man. Good stuff. Yeah, and even Stu, it says that's dope. So keep on here, bro. I love it.
Yeah. Now, what you got up there is excessive force. We are a force of 3. So, when we first started going to the conventions, my best friend, my best bud, he's a brother. He would always watch everything while we were going, and we would come back and tell these awesome stories about what it's like up in Toronto. And he didn't believe us. So he would, so literally, you know, he's like, I got to come with y'all. So he did. You know, along the way, he would always be helping us with stuff here and there and whatnot. And at a convention, you know, he was with us behind a table. And this one gentleman came up and said, Kiss Me Comix. Okay. And he pointed to Barbara. He's like, what do you do? And she told him, I am the creator of Serenade, and so on and so forth. He pointed to me, and he said, what do you do? And I said, I am the creator of Bountyhunter, so and so, so and so. And then the guy pointed at him, like, and what do you do? He's like, I help them. And he just asked him, where's your book? And my partner, Robert Boy, said, yeah, where is my book? And so lo and behold, we put together. I wish my camera was working because I got the damn book here. So we came. So he had a story, and we liked it. Obviously, he was unsure. So what we did at the time was we had put it up. Thank you for whoever said that cover is dope. Thank you so much. We came up. We came up with a story. Barbara did the art and everything, and we came up with it. And I don't know if it's gonna look.
I said it's a test run.
Yeah, it was a test run.
Took a vote. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. It was a test run. It was a test issue, and we let the fans decide whether or not to make it a staple or not.
So what you did is something along the lines of a first issue special that DC used to do in the 70s. You know, you get the first issue. That's how Warlord started,
exactly.
For example, you know?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And if people go to our store, that's exactly how it's labeled. It's excessive force special.
Okay.
So the fans voted it in to be the third major title of Kiss Me Comix. You know,
beautiful. I love that you engaged the audience. Good stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, for us, that's the main thing. Keeping our people engaged. We do not insult our readers.
Excellent.
We do not at all. Not at
Ooh,
all.
and then take
So
a look
now-
inside. Right,
Yeah.
nice.
Now that is from the issue number 1, which is Choices Part 2.
Okay.
The initial debut of Excessive Force is a 2-parter.
Okay.
And a talented friend of ours, Ernest Posey, did the artwork for that.
Okay.
And Barbara did the colors for it.
Gotcha.
You know,
Looks good, man.
And
I like
for me, thank you.
He's fighting some cholos, man, right there, ain't he?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a multicultural thing for us, you know, because everybody can do great things, everybody can do evil things. You
Yes.
know, it's we try to strike that balance to let to let no matter who you are, what you do, what you think, you can be great, you know. And if anybody wants to the synopsis for our stories, they can go to our YouTube channel and watch the videos.
Oh, so you
know,
have origin videos? Nice.
Yes.
Where is this
you know,
from? The
and
same
that's the
book?
final page from the no, that is the
okay.
final page from Bountyhunter number 7.
Ah, gotcha. Look at this.
Yes. Yeah.
Love the coloring on it, man.
And actually that's thank you, because actually this is my first foray into actually doing computer coloring.
Oh, good job,
in this
man.
particular
Everything
issue.
is very bright, stands
Thank
out a lot. Very good job.
Thank you. You know, but I want to shift gears real quick to talk
Go
about our flagship title, Serenade.
There we are, bro.
There you go. Thank you. Yes. The Serenade has been our heavy hitter. You know,
Okay.
Barbara has done, and for anybody who wants to know, for the most part, all her work is done by watercolor.
Oh, nice. Good.
No.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. What she does is all by all watercolor. You know, the most I ever do is literally just put the text on. You know, and
Gotcha.
and believe it or not, this is the story that I was previously talking about, the art project that she was working on in American Academy.
Gotcha.
Her teacher at the time, Tom, what's Tom's?
It's not Tom.
No,
Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Thomas.
Okay.
Told her that he literally told her to take it as far as it can go.
Beautiful. Good.
You know,
I love people like that.
Yes. Yeah. You know, the story is she's half black, half Korean, already shunned in Korea. Okay, then why did the first one come out? And that's my favorite cover. That one right there is all her. Anybody who asks, if a lot of people have asked us, what Photoshop did she use? That's not Photoshop. That's all her.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yes, that is
fun.
not Photoshop.
What does this represent? What does this represent in terms of Serenade here? This looks, like it has a story to tell right there.
Yes, it does. It is her metamorphosis from being a monster to a vigilante. Long story short, she was already she's a half breed, half black, half Korean in Korea. She grows up being ostracized because over there is racism in Korea. You're not supposed to be able to mix Korea and black. So she's already shunned. She already sees herself as a monster, which is what the cover of the first issue is. Gotcha. Is how she sees herself. Well, she grows up, becomes a model and star in Korea. She meets a black entrepreneur, her husband, Jonathan Carlisle. He instantly falls in love with her. They get married. On their honeymoon in Chicago, the husband gets gunned down by 7 gangbangers.
Oh, damn.
In cold blood. Yeah.
That's
she
Chi-Town,
inherits his
man. That's
company.
Chi-Town. Gangster, son.
Yeah, well, and Serenade was created because of the violence going on at that time.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so so folks do the math, ain't changed. So we're still relevant to the times.
Gotcha.
So then from there, she inherits his company, his cosmetics company. Invents a poison lipstick, and she goes after the 7 that killed her husband, only using the poison, her looks, and if anybody is wondering, she's a 4th degree black belt. So,
and I'm just to answer the question. So I'm to assume this is the 7, because there's 7 heads there.
Right. Those are the 7.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah, those are the 7. And for folks, if they want to know about Serenade, there's 2 jumping points. The 5th issue that you have here goes straight to where her husband gets killed.
Okay.
Now, if you want her backstory about how she grew up and all the other stuff that she's done, and that's for me, that's the money shot right there.
Damn, man. No
that's
mercy.
from. Yes. Exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah. All of a case of mistaken identity.
Wow.
This one right here, Al, you'll love this one. This one, the 6th issue is done classic comics. No words.
Oh, nice.
Except for
the Snake Eyes issue, the silent issue. I love that book.
Well, see, the now with Serenade, there's it's not a light read. There's always a poem page.
Okay.
Always a poem page to get you set to get the mood set up. But with this one, after that, there is no words. The story tells the page. Now, this I love this one. I wanted people to see the power of her pencils.
Whoa, really?
That's all her with pencil. Yes, that's her with just pencils.
Beautiful work.
Thank you.
Holy smokes.
Mm-hmm. And
very
that's
nice.
Yeah, and that's from one of the pages of her pinup book called Whispers.
Oh, she has a pinup book too. Epa, you guys are doing it all, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I wish I had a picture of that. I should have gotten a picture of that, brother. Oh man.
Oh, I should have. No, I didn't.
It's all right. If you just send them after the fact, I'll add them into the show notes so people can see the beauty of that as well. Because again, you're doing awesome stuff for the community, and thank you for being a POC creator, doing stories for POC. Because again, this is why I always tell people, like, they want to push the big 2 to do those stories, not understanding that's unnecessary. If you reach out to the world of indie, they've been doing it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't feel forced. It's natural.
Exactly. And therein lies the whole, and that's the thing that we discovered getting into this. At first we thought we were the only ones here, even here in Chicago. There is, all you got to do is look. They're there. Like that. They've been here. It's just the fact that we don't have the media machine to get it out there.
Exactly. You don't have those conglomerates. You're not backed by Disney or Warner Brothers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So those marketing, not that they even market books anyway. Let's get real.
Right. That's true. That's true. But the fact of it all is the other part of it is really distribution as well.
Yes.
There is no indie distributor. It's still,
I'll tell you that there is an up and coming distributor trying to help indie. I'll share that in an email with you, maybe somewhere that you could, pitch your wares.
Yeah.
But they're trying to help the independent community as well. I mean, I'm not going to shout them out verbally until they tell Omega it's okay. But
there you go.
But
you.
I've been receiving their information, and just to help independent, I'll share that with you. All right. So last thing here is the last two things I want to just cover real quick here.
Right.
What's the future of Kiss Me Comix? I'll ask the second question after you answer that. What's the future of Kiss Me?
Well,
what can we expect? Where can we see you?
Okay. Well, right now, there's a couple of things. One, animation. We want to get our our work out there in a more of a medium that fits the times, so to speak. Gotcha. I want because from there, our stories read like movies, and we have never been one to wait for somebody to deem us worthy. So I want us to still produce books, obviously, but I want us to go animated because I want to see Serenade the movie. I want to see Bountyhunter. We've had a few nibbles here and there from independent people, but they're off in their own world. So I want to do it ourselves, either with Blender or Unity.
Gotcha.
And get it done. I want to see us out there with fashion. I want to see us out there with books, magnets, the whole 9 yards. I want to be. I want to reproduce it just like Marvel did back in the day. But I
want to see action figures too. You left out toys. Exactly. Come on now. Let's make this an empire right now. And believe you me, there are a lot of toy manufacturers there for indie that'll probably help in the story, in your pitch, if you will, for the animated.
Right.
Get a couple of action figures that'll help that pitch. You trust me on that one.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing though is we want to still tell the story. We don't want to get it too wrapped up in the outside stuff to where it becomes lost.
Yeah.
We want I want it to be that empire, and more importantly to show that you don't have to. People of color can be creative. Take their take that creativity to the highest level.
Yes.
And that's where we want to take it.
Exactly. You shouldn't be afraid. I mean, I love that story. You and your wife just said, I'm going to do this. We did it in 6 weeks. We took 20 books, scored some deals, and this was our first time. That's amazing. I love that. Right. That's a crazy story. It's a real crazy story, but look where you're at now, and you keep creating, and I'm sure you guys are going to land awesome deals. So with that, this is the last thing then. Tell us what are the lessons you've learned, and what's the greatest piece of advice you could, give someone trying to now step in to the same journey as you guys have?
One, the first thing that we've always said is keep an open mind. Okay. That's the first part. Keep an open mind. Do not wait for the perfect moment, because it'll never be. If you think you're ready to jump, then jump. Don't be prepared for the bumps, the lumps, bumps, and bruises. Number two, have a thick skin, because there are folks out there who are going to hate on what you're doing. They're not going to, and they're going to criticize. Serenade, first dash out the bucket for Serenade. They didn't have a term for it, but Serenade was fat shamed when we first started. Literally on the net, fat shamed.
Really?
Because because my wife draws characters real, unlike the way Marvel draws their women. So
you know what? And thank you, Ms. Jenkins, for doing that, Barbara, that's real. That's real. You gotta draw women as they look. They don't shame. I mean, us men like them in all shapes anyway.
You know,
man.
but
I love
you
me
know,
a beautiful woman. It doesn't matter. Women are awesome.
I know. You know, but develop a thick skin and take and be willing to take the criticism for what it is. You know.
Yes.
And, and as you put yourself out there, you'll find out who your friends are, and you'll find out who your enemies are. Latch on to those people who look at you to be mentors, to be leaders, and work with that. You know,
yes.
The good thing about it is, in these days and times, now is the best time to be a graphic adventure creator, because now everything's opened up. You know,
yes.
People's minds have opened up. The stigma of our work is no longer a stigma. It is the hot thing now.
Yeah, it's a blessing now. So it's a real
it
blessing.
Is.
A lot
exactly.
of creators come up really quickly nowadays, as opposed to the past, where you had to really do that grunt work. I mean, I spoke with creators from back in the day that were talking about, again, lugging physical product, and nowadays you could just submit a pitch via email. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's different time.
You know,
different times.
It has. You know, I mean, for us, we have seen the evolution of this industry, especially for independents. You know,
yes.
You know, I'm looking forward to the day where independent creators just don't have a little section. I want them to have the big racks. Just where like
everybody says, "Where's the indie section?" That's where I'm going. Who needs anyone else?
Exactly. You know, I hope to one day to get it to where we can open up a store, a store dedicated to the indie titles.
You are speaking it into the world, my brother, and when you speak it into the world, it becomes a reality. You speak it with truth and positiveness, and it's gonna come. Yo, for real. You already spoke. Well, it's gonna happen.
I hope. I want it to be. You know, I want it to be. You know, so 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 there is my advice to the creators. And still, yes, web comics, don't get me wrong, I love them, but people are still touchy, feely. So whenever possible, do that print.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
Still do it in print.
I love it. That's true. I'm a print man. As much as like digital is cool, I'm a print man. If I'm gonna pay $4, I want something in print, not in digital. That if they close my account, there goes my access to my materials. No good.
Exactly.
No good.
Or here's the other thing. Somebody, people with the cloud. All it's gonna take is one person with an attitude, and there you go.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Listen, I'm not downing digital. If that's Yahweh, that's great. But I'm still old school and true to that. I love it. Listen,
Amen.
Stats, you've been amazing, brother. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for giving us a little knowledge about what Kiss Me Comix is. For those that weren't in the know, this is fantastic. Folks, it's right there right now. blog.kissmecomics.com/shop. Check out all their titles that you could purchase. All right. But not just that. Show them some love. Tell them how awesome they are on Twitter and Instagram at Kiss Me Comix with an X, and on Facebook, Kiss Me Comix 1275, and at Instagram at BAJ Creations with a Z. And wait, is that the fashion line right there? What's going on there? What's that?
No, actually, Bosch Creations is the other branch of Barbara's creativity. She is an artist. Yes, so there you go. So you get to see her other side and her other talents.
Beautiful. So, and a big shout out to Barbara. Big shout out to Barbara. We kind of heard her in the background whispering in your ear, being the wife manager, which I love. Wait till you guys see. I'm going to speak to Onyx Comics next, and one of my homies within that have a spouse that's just like yours. She when I met him at MegaCon, I'm saying here's this, here's that. Next thing you know, this lady's next to me giving me cards. Already wrote that down. I'm like, who's this? Oh, that's my lady, and she's my manager. I'm like, oh, damn, that's how you do it. Yo. I love it. I love seeing that when couples work together like that. That's powerful, and it's also beautiful to see that wonderful connection. So God bless you both on that. And with that, I'm Omega with Kiss Me Comix with Barbara that we don't see, and big old stats right there. Check out Kiss Me Comix with an X, folks. This is a great independent company. Again, POC. Stop asking Marvel and DC to do that fake stuff. This is the realness of what POC Comics should be. All right. Thank you. So please check them out. And you know what to do. Everything's going to be said in the outro. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Much love.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.